All right, here we are, town hall meeting number 158. It's August 5th, 2025. And today we are being joined by Alfred, Andrew, Ashley, Leandro, and Vanessa. Thanks for being here. Relatively small crowd, but we'll go nonetheless. It's a bit of a summertime lull, I reckon. And yeah, as you can see on the screen, quite a concise agenda, starting off with a couple of mentions. And then if Guillermo joins in, which I'm sure he will, an update on the governance dashboard. And if there's any time remaining after that, which there very well might be, yeah, there's room for open topics. Any questions, we'll go there. All right. Then, yeah, a quick reminder on what the ambassador program is and what we're doing. We're a group of like-minded people that are all quite in tune with the mission and vision of Singularity Net, working towards beneficial AGI. And yeah, we want to try and help contribute to this, to spreading the word and building out. And we have a wide range of self-organizing work groups. So if you're interested in helping out, we do have a work group that fits your expertise, your needs, your interests. Hop onto our Discord server. You will find a how to join section, and in that section you will find how to join. All right, with that out of the way, let's kick off with a couple of mentions. First, a reminder on the workgroup sentiment survey. Let me copy the link into chat for those that haven't seen it yet. I think almost everybody has received multiple pings by now, but doesn't hurt for yeah, highlighting it a little bit more. And yeah, basically it's quite important that you take a little bit of your time and fill it in if you want. This will feed into the whole workgroup budget discussion. So yeah, the link is in chat. And let me actually go ahead and put another link in chat. And that is for a sheet where we aim to capture work that is being done, volunteer work, but it's not being recognized as such on, for example, D work. And we figured it would be a decent idea to at least see if there's any appetite for people to capture their contributions. And I'll then put it, I'll turn it into D work. So that's also the work that's not paid and might, you know, over the weeks, it might be tiny tidbits of this and that. It does add up in the end. And I do think it's a good idea to also capture this as much as possible. So this will also be shared on Discord, so don't worry about saving the link. Yeah, am I skipping something on this? Quick check on the room. I think that kind of covers. And so just to be clear, this will not change whether the work gets compensated or not. It's purely you will get mints tokens as a recognition of your time contribution there. Then a session hosted by the AI ethics work group on Monday the 18th. I figured I would call out. This is on 15 UTC, and it's a community discussion. And I was gonna ask Colleen to shine a little light on there as she's organizing. She's not in the room right now, though. You can find a message on the Ambassador General Discord channel explaining pretty much what the session is about. Short version would be interviewing an LLM about, and do correct me if I'm wrong here, trying to redefine intelligence. So that's a promising topic. Looking forward to that. And I also wanted to give a shout out, an additional one. You might have heard it before, but coming weekend on Sunday, the AGI conference starts off. The live streams will also be starting on Sunday. It's going to be 4 days of mayhem, stream-wise at least. There's a lot of sessions being hosted. And yeah, it's always good fun on YouTube. There's actual interesting discussions happening in the chat section, let's say. So I do recommend checking that out. I didn't link it. The website there is AGI-conf dot. Let me quickly check before I say the wrong website, .org. So agi-conf.org. And yeah, there will be links to the YouTube streams when they're live. And I'll also be initially the plan was that I was gonna be physically there. Back when the workshop days were gonna cover 2 days, and I was gonna support the workshops. However, this turned into only one day of workshops, and that made it so that it would be a bit too expensive to send me there just for running one day of workshops. So I'm not going there myself physically. I will be in the live streams. And yeah, if during the event, if you happen to have any questions on, well, whatever is on stream, there's opportunities for also relaying questions to the people presenting. So that adds a little bit of depth there, let's say. And I do believe that's it as far as the mentions go. Mm, yep. Then we bump into an issue where Guillermo put forward an agenda item and he is not in the room. So that makes it a little bit tricky. He was gonna give an overview on the governance dashboard. There's a lot of work being done. We're also joined by Leandro, and not to really put you on the spot, but at the same time, if you want to speak on the governance dashboard, you can. Again, really, we didn't prepare this, so I really don't want to put you on the spot there. You can also just wait a second for Guillermo to pop on. I just pinged him. Let's see. And yeah, there's something I did want to. I just snuck it on the slide. Yeah, I do want to request this as a feature. I'm not sure if the governance dashboard itself should be the first place where this happens. Um, but yeah, basically there's like a monthly reporting cadence internally in SingularityNet. And I always find myself kind of looking around and picking whatever I feel is like a relevant update. And yeah, in itself, it's not quite decentralized. So I figured it would be maybe a fitting place to ask for something to support this in the dashboard. Alternatively, yeah, if there's specific highlights a work group wants to call out and also have amplified, we can for sure do this manually. Like it's I'm doing it manually right now. So in itself, nothing much would change. But input there is quite welcome because yeah, I just find myself every now and then finding like, okay, so either I go very granular and there's like 12 updates, but most of the time they're only looking for like 3 highlights, and then I get to pick which I feel is more fun, the coolest, the most interesting. And that in itself is a little bit of a, yeah, it's not optimal, I feel. Would be cool if, yeah, if it's more community sourced, I guess. Like, I'm not saying we should have like meetings on this or anything like that. I would really like to keep it simple. But some kind of pipeline for yeah, workgroup updates getting bumped up one additional level for additional coverage and highlighting. I do think that's yeah, that would be quite welcome. Okay, I'm just getting word from Guillermo that he's 3 minutes away, so he might be joining any second. Um, mm, mm. Just a quick check on the room, something like this. Uh, Speaking for the work groups you're in, would that be something that's fine to provide, or do you feel like, no, you pick it, or should it be more formal or completely informal, or just wondering?
I mean, are you thinking of tying this in with monthly workgroup updates in the town hall session? Because that could be quite effective. It's like maybe if people just gave three things, three bullet points, and then they can fill it out more when but it would just stop people talking for hours about their updates. Or if we were to implement this idea that we had about let's not have every work group, but just the ones that have got something to say, that would be a way of doing it. I think it's a really nice idea. And also, sometimes when you come to do your monthly update in a town hall, you're kind of like, what did I say? What stage were we at last month? I can't even remember. But if it was there in the tool, you could look back.
Very true. Yeah. Yeah, well, in itself, I do think it would be great to have it in the tool. At the same time, it feels like there's proper feature creep, let's say, which makes sense. But also, yeah, every week there's new features being requested, and I'm adding to that, so I'm guilty. But it's also a bit tricky, like, um, yeah, what to prioritize, and also budget-wise, like, it's based on a proposal which got accepted. Can't just add stuff to it, right? That would also need to come with some funding. So yeah, there's that side of it.
I think they need a feature request logs just so that they can keep track of all these things that people are saying and then just focus on their like minimum viable whatever.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. Well, I do think the basically the reporting on what you're doing is already in there, I believe. Then do correct me if I'm wrong, Leandro. But just based on hearing from Guillermo, this would be included. So he's also now in the waiting room. And also welcome to Colleen. Thanks for joining in. And Mikasa a bit earlier. Welcome as well.
Hello.
And also welcome Guillermo.
Hey, Pete. Hey, everyone.
Hey. As you can see on screen, we were just talking about you.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I did have to jump off to take the kid to the pharmacy.
No worries.
Good thing it's everything is all good. Um, yeah. Okay, so let's do this. Just got in time.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, I was just mentioning something I snuck in on the slide for like internal Singularity net reporting. And also like we've got like blog posts calling out all the updates. So I figured I would sneak that in as a feature request, but at the same time, also quite aware of budget being a thing and scope, and the scope growing and growing and growing and growing. So that's something I can't really speak on how realistic it would be to have, feature requests, because I do feel over time more and more will pop up. And Vanessa was suggesting to at least keep track of them somewhere, somehow. I reckon a proposal could work in the dashboard itself.
Lee?
So yeah, that's
Exactamente.
where we were.
Yeah, well, that's a great idea. Yeah, so short update. As you guys can realize, yeah, a lot of things can be added and will be added, but as Peter was saying earlier, yeah, track of all suggestions or possible features and include them in a roadmap and properly address them, include them in the budget. And earlier today at governance, same thing. A lot of cool ideas for tracking, for knowledge graph, how to export. We are building something that is going to be a dynamic data creation and processing that data to export. Stephen was there also, and Vani did this workshop. We use a Miro board, and so a lot of that also is going to come into the dashboard. Yeah, all governance issues, topics. But I think also, so let me show my screen because a lot of things gonna pop up after seeing where we are on the update, and we are planning on doing a test, an early bird test for a small amount of core contributors to participate and to have a proper form to get this feedback. Too many variables at the moment, okay? And more will come. So let me get the right screen. I have too much going on in this computer. Show. Okay, honey. 1 sec, please. Not a screen, but and you tell me when you see my screen, Pete.
Yep, we can see the Discord login page.
Okay, so let's do this properly. Login, still working. Hope so. That's a good thing. That's a good sign. So I don't remember last time we presented the status situation of this town hall. First, it was a video concept. Then we did a live login. So that's still working. So let's try to do that again. And you guys are going to have a different features as I'm logging, as you can see, as a super admin. So I have certain permits. And for the retrospective and the feedback, we're gonna do both as a super admin, as a community member, and as a core contributor, because we have 3 roles. Okay. Let me pop this on the chat so you guys can join. There is chat. Oh, and I can see Leandro is here. I don't know if he's still here, but so welcome, Leon, from the LATAM community, also a developer. So probably he's going to be helping in this regard. So yeah, so join in, log in. As you log in, we're going to see new members popping up. Earlier, we didn't have the navigation in all sections. And for a proper navigation, we solved that. So navigation, they're gonna always be available, okay, on your left through the different sections. You have okay, this is us online. You have filters for by workgroup. It's working, and then we can yeah, just search by language and all these inputs that you can edit on your profile, okay? Again, skills database features, and it's kind of a social media for the contributors, kind of we end up building, needed to have this variable, collaborators,
Excuse me.
core contributors. Yes?
Excuse me, the link that we have, it says access denied. I'm sorry. We're posting in chat that the access is denied on the link that you posted.
Yeah, I just log in, so try again on that one. I'm surfing this online. I'm surfing. That would be cool. I'm doing this live on the thing. So, but we'll take care of that, Colin, if that persists. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, same issue, Peter. Okay. Okay. So still, let me show where we at. Okay. Collaborator filters applied. Okay. The other thing that we didn't need it, but wanted to go deep on the possibilities is to have a workgroup and guilds section. Okay. So which workgroup will have? So it will be a place to follow up. we didn't want just to keep it as a label, okay? Because we can create a proposal, label it, pick a work group or a guild, and that will do it. I'm still dealing with a decision making, okay, making a decision in that regard, because, you know, as an engineer, you don't want to build something that is not needed. So probably we will try to figure it out to reduce the complexity. Today we have a section for workgroups and guilds, as you can see on my screen. So each workgroup or guild will have, again, you can add or include a member, okay? And you have all these different sections within, so you will be able to follow up on reports and proposals from each workgroup or guild in this dashboard, okay? Basic information here also to educate newcomers, as we're going to use this for onboarding, get an idea of what each workgroup or guild objectives, tasks, mission and mission, and all this, okay? Again, you're going to have activity on report. You can see now 2 reports that we have already. We're still working on the back end. But again, you have all the sections within the dash, okay? Links and governance, and again, the roadmap. This is basic information. Then we will, once everything is set, the architecture is definitive, we will be including inserts for each workgroup and guild. At some workgroups have different description or characteristics, okay? But mainly, yeah, a way also to follow up on, again, reports and proposals for each workgroup and guild. Okay, so this is something, so I click on the this is a test. These are all tests, okay, for proposals and the consensus. So you can see there's already a quarterly report following a template that we put together, okay? Still, we need to work more on that details. Then you have a section, we have already a section set up for all quarterly reports. So it's specific for our quarterly consent process, okay? Let me open one. So this is the description, okay? These are all tests. We already have some filters, a way to filter. This can be very useful. All the stuff are going to be also to plan on AI onboarding this, have specific labels that our core contributor still needs a name. It's going to need a name, okay? We're going to be able to target it to specific, okay? Okay, Colin, thanks for the update. And then I'll take care of that, okay? So we can filter, we can see this test, okay? So, and you can see that in this template, again, we work with Thibaut and with Vani on a specific template for this quarter report. So more inserts to input in this, but we have a detail. I probably can use some overview section. Then you have a possibility to have a theory of change, establish objectives, challenges, okay? And again, we integrate treasury to have a specific description of each of the items on a budget, okay? So let's create a proposal, okay? Template is already working. Still, the backend for the consensus, you're not going to see, but if I create a report here, it will be part of that list that you saw. So to have templates, okay, pick a year, pick a quarter, a detail, okay? First, of course, a work group, okay? When I pick the work group, you can see the members of the work group popping up, okay? And you need to be a member to be able to create a report, okay? To be a member of that work group or guild. So in that way, we start filtering permits, okay? And again, here, again, I can type blah, 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 add or minus. All of this is reactive. But still, we need to probably guide a little bit more, a little bit better. Probably we can pop in a long text here, or we can segment it a little bit more so we can organize the information and also the extraction. Again, if I create a budget, on the next time, it will autocomplete, okay? So once we do it, we kind of have it, and then we can have operations, facilitation, okay, admin, okay, and this is kind of the description we specific ask to include. That way we'll be able to divide the analytics on treasury, how much we have on administration and how much we will have on operational, okay? So description, and okay, and you see, it's asking me to fill, okay? So we're kind of organizing the task of reporting, and that way we'll kind of help members to organize their thoughts and also for us to be able to address them properly. But so if I'm missing something, let's see, it goes through. And it's popping up an error, okay? But again, it is a drill, okay? So I'm gonna go back, all work groups, all quarters. And the other thing is that this is gonna end up on the, and again, this is still not finished, okay? So where do all these proposals and reports go? To the consensus section, okay? So again, filter, amount of proposals. Analytic is already linked to the tables on the database. Still need to figure out a lot of stuff. But okay, so consensus. So this will be one of the reports, let's say. And we have clear objectives on organized information to make members an easier process, so to have all in one, okay? Don't have to open different files, pop-ups, this and that. But still, there's a lot of good things of the Google Docs report where we exchange comments, okay? So we want to try to emulate that, okay? And we have these two directions, or we use Google API and input whatever doc it's there on a drive, or we create our own and we export a document like we have today in Archive, okay? And that way we will have a double backup. We can have everything allocated in our ambassadors drive, okay? So, yeah. And then again, some words, okay? You see voting here. We are all against that word, voting, but still it's just a small detail, okay? But as you see here, this will be a report. We already exchanged into the consent process, okay? You can see here, if I change my vote, you should just consent. So it did change, okay? And one user is not allowed to participate 2 times. So if I just consent, now I'm going to object. Oh, I need 12 characters. Okay, object. Okay, so, and that will be the concern. The comment on that will be part of the objection. And first we need to validate it as a concern or not. Okay, you have different colors and this and that, but because we're still working on that, we are adding that feature, okay? And once the governance admin, well, after governance meetings, when we go through this, we can, these concerns to approve them or not, address if they are valid or not. We also gonna have that, address in the platform and a way to also, if it's not valid, we don't go further in the discussion, okay? And the other thing that we needed was a way to follow up and track concerns and to respond. So members will be able to exchange comments, response, to have a deeper follow-up on these concerns. And also to have a place where to be that, let's say, to do that async, follow up and address concerns async, because sometimes today we have it on our governance meetings through the consent process. But they get it embedded input in a summary, okay? So this will be like a live follow-up on these concerns, and we'll have a register of those. And then addressing the different rounds in the process, okay? So you can see here, if there's a new round, so it will create a new report on top of the other report. So we'll be embedded, and that's a layer of complexity that I was working earlier this morning, and it's making me think of how complex we want to go. Okay, still we can always go back and make it as simple as possible. One proposal, label it, follow up, Google API. That's already there to do. This is following a specific crafted tool for our program and our specific concern process. What else there to show? I'm sorry, I'm taking too long. If everyone want to jump in, please do. Okay, and so analytics, it is already linked, so we have 26 proposals. This is the amount of consent that we went through the testing, okay? And this is the information is gonna be fed from the governance experience. And a little bit of admin. So users have the different roles and permits, okay? I can see Mikasa login, Colin login. Okay, so it's working, I guess.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Okay, Peter is in. Mikasa, good to see you. I know that icon, and Alfred also. Okay, so you guys can see, so we're gonna have different roles. And these roles will allow community members, and we have these 3 roles, as I mentioned. Members, anyone can log in. But core contributors, we have a specific role that are able to upload quarterly reports. And we talked with Thibaut and Vani. It would be great if we keep it open to create new proposals for whatever member that joins in. And so that will be the main role, permit. Members can see and create proposals, new proposals, okay? Core contributors will be able to create reports, engage, and participate in consent process, okay? And admin roles will have this ability to assign roles, okay? I can assign a role to Mikasa right now, okay, to be an admin or a super admin. An admin will be the core contributor, okay? We need to change that naming, that wording, okay?
Guillermo, can I ask about core contributor status? Did you and Tevo find a way to kind of connect it up to the calculations about who is a core contributor? Or is it going to have to be done manually, that it'll be reassigned each time we take a decision? It'd be so nice if that was automated and people didn't
Oh, yeah.
have to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so many things that we can automate. But again, I think because it's really hard to describe our consent process to others. I did have to do that with my team, with Gabriel. So I'm really focused on making this this first iteration and test work. Okay. Then we will focus on labeling contributions, because we can embed a reputation system on this. We discussed that with Tivo. We can also use the API, because we have a lot of data already there that we have been recollecting. So we can do that too. And again, the list goes on and on. So yeah, focus on a good testing, debugging before. I don't know what is the schedule. September, second week, kind of.
Yeah, it is. I think the whole fun starts at September 8th. So let me double check. Vanessa earlier posted the schedule, I believe. Yesterday, actually. Yeah, Monday, 8th of September.
September? You
The
said,
8th.
sorry,
Yes.
The
the
8th.
8th. Okay. So we have 1 month.
God, it's really soon, isn't it?
No, I like it. I do
Yeah,
believe that it's the only way to build stuff. We lose the momentum, we're
Yeah.
screwed. Okay. So let's not let that happen. Again, I can always go back to we can always go back to this, okay, and have all the information embedded in one chunk text with links, and have so this will be the report, and the budget can be included in a link. So we have that covered. Okay. And I like simple. I like simple. This is easy to extract information with the AI, because all this get embedded. But we'll be missing all the other possibilities. So let's talk to the plan. Still, the report needs to evolve a little bit more in details, I think. And then the following up concerns, and that's what I'm really focused to make the consent process work. And then finally, we change the words, Fanny. We go through the wording and styles and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but it's looking good. And again, first target 21. That's 2 weeks from now. Testing, debugging, and getting it ready for the 8th. So that's a lot of work. So we'll try.
If I may ask, so would you right now already be open to people hopping on and trying to break stuff, as in testing, or is that something for later?
Yeah, I think I want to get. I think the proper way to do it is to have a form. Because if we go now, I know what already is broken. And the last update on the Git I did happen two days ago, probably. I don't recall. So, and that's the other thing. We have a proper Git, so we can branch this thing.
Yeah, awesome. Just making sure, like you said, before jumping in and starting to report stuff you're well aware of.
Yeah. And that's why last time Colin addressed and suggested she would like to start. I don't want members to waste time because there's some stuff that is already changed, and there's stuff that is so let's regroup and let's get it ready at the maximum detail, and let's break it. And let's find all the typos and all the Spanish words that haven't been translated and all that kind of stuff. Because still today, if I go in, we're still missing items and inserts in the quarterly report to make it perfect, to following up the work we spent hours with Vani. She did this revision on a file that I shared with her that I'm still going through the detail. You know, Vanessa.
But yes, Guillermo, can I interject real quick?
Yeah, please.
I still need to get with you, and we need to talk about accessibility so we can start plugging that in too.
Meaning, sorry?
Accessibility for disabled people.
Okay. Well, yeah, that will be great to have different kind of features. I still will still need to figure out how.
Right. I just need to ask you a few questions and I can get working on it.
Okay, and also
I can do it alongside with my project. Yeah.
Okay, and also, so Colin, I have a chat with Colin, and we are having this task force for different aspects of this, that we are having a register of who participates, how much time, the documents. So later on, we can have a reward from this, from the budget allocation or from somewhere, because there's a lot of time put into this. And also, so Colin is going to be helping us to push out this testing and debugging. And kind of lead into that so we can, focus on
So we don't want to focus on accessibility at this point, though, no?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
We don't want to focus on accessibility at this point, though?
No, really, I will add it to the list. I will add it to the list.
Sure, no problem. Okay, no problem. No problem.
And let's have a discussion probably later on, maybe tomorrow on R&D. How would you address it?
Incorporate, integrate it, right? Exactly.
Let's put it on the timeline. But yeah, that would be great to have. Hey, Vani, you want to ask something on this regard?
Not about accessibility. So if you've still got stuff to say about that, let's talk that out. I had a different thing to raise.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just thinking about the actual consent process. It feels to me like the structure of it is too vote-like. Like, for instance, where you were showing us, you go to cast your vote, and obviously that's just a linguistic thing, we can change that. But what we need to see if you object is not just a justification, but it's got to be what harm would it do and what would need to change, because that's like the core of how a consent process works. And I still think we should maybe consider keeping the control vocabulary about what is your what's your problem? What are you objecting to? I don't know. Maybe we could dispense with that, but I do think we need that two-step thing of what's the problem that you're raising? What harm would it do? And then what should change in order to get your consent? Because it just means that the person has to think about what they want. Otherwise, we just get this kind of rather flabby process where people just go, oh, I don't like that and I don't like that. And it's just, well, what would we have to do to get your consent? And they're just like, oh, I don't know. And also it means that if the person who objected can't make it to a meeting to discuss it, we've got the information about what they want to see changed. And we can assess to some extent, like whether the work group is able or willing to do that or not, to assess whether the concern has been addressed. The other thing that I just wanted to ask about is, we've been trying to track objections from past quarters. Is there anywhere that you're going to be able to see what objections have been raised against a work group over several quarters? And this is where the control vocabulary for what the objection is would be useful, because then you can say, well, the objection about, I don't know, their budget was too high, or whatever it might be, has been raised against them several times. And it would just mean that it'd be easier to track. But I can't actually see anywhere where that information would sit. Maybe I'm missing it.
Yeah, no, you're not missing it. As I mentioned, the detail on the quarterly report, it's and the work you did there's a lot. What I did was to pick one of each variables, let's say check vocabulary, control vocabulary, kind of a text where you can include your overview, the different aspects of a report. And once we have that, we are able to build the architecture, and then we can duplicate the same using the same table. So everything is already linked, and we can include all the vocabulary, control vocabulary list that we have on the file.
Although this is not about the quarterly report, I'm talking about tracking objections and
on the consensus.
Yeah,
exactly. So, but they will come. So, because we're still missing information on the report, and we're still missing inserts and features in the consensus. Today, we have what you see. There's stuff that it's okay, and there's stuff that is wrong, and still missing, as you mentioned, these other elements.
Okay, I mean it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that I'm disappointed that it's not there. I just wondered if it was there, and I was just
no. The thing is that we can miss it. It can't not be there. Of course,
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And also, as I showed, so a way to follow up on comments to have the response, because as we were talking earlier, we probably going to have more engagement and dynamics, async, because sometimes on the consent discussion, we spend too much time sometimes in one thing. So I think having this will have more dynamic, probably more flow, more exchange. And yeah, we are still missing those. Hopefully we can get it together to have it fully deploy for testing on the 21. That's where we are aiming, Vani. But yeah, we're still missing that. And some other stuff. And now inclusivity.
Well, no worries there. I mean, it wasn't put forward as a final presentation end result, so no worries there. I don't think.
No, not at all.
Especially on for example, on like mentioned, like recurring objections. That's something. Well, I guess we have the information from the past, and we should feed that in as well. I was gonna say like we only need that even later in the process, but that's not actually true, because we do have historical data for that. No, but then I'm confident these type of yeah, it's just going to be collecting feature requests and puzzling out what makes sense priority wise, right? I mean,
yeah, exactly. Again, priority wise now, get the consensus fully matching the template we have worked with Vani and all of the members of governance, because this is a result of a lot of work. So all of that needs to be finally in this consent template that I'm showing right now. And again, concerns or objections, here you can see the same what I'm showing here in comments. So we still need to include that, but we were working on of this other thing that it need still on the consent process. We need to validate if a concern is valid or not. So another layer of complexity into that. Yeah, and then prioritize, as you say. Today, consents. Then there's a lot of stuff that we can do, like education, onboarding, and of course, I think this is a right place for also automate governance summaries, because if we go and the other thing we were talking is like follow up on topics. We have the rolling agenda, okay, but after that. We can include the summaries here and to kind of have track on the activity of each workgroup and guild section. We can fit this. We can fit that into the report. So today we have a summary. It's put in, created a doc, and why not we can include that and fit this this section on each workgroup. So you have a follow-up summaries and a place where to find it on top of our drive and on our channel.
Is that for quarterly reports, you're thinking? Yeah.
Yeah, reports and also for summaries, the archive tool, how we can integrate that. There's a lot to do that there.
Okay.
I don't want to even go there, Bunny. But
I mean, I'd suggest we don't go there until we've got the new version of the tool to integrate with it, because
yeah,
it's all going to change. Then it'd just be a waste, wouldn't it?
yeah, but also having in mind that it's good to know that, so we can include that in the process. Think on top of redesigning how we can include that here, APIs and all that related. But yeah, so you guys can see a lot of work and still a lot of work to still put on it. And again, aiming for the 21 and have it ready for the 8. Okay, that's going to be fun. So hope before that we have another update and can and see everyone participating on this debugging. We'll be advertising big red letters and all of that.
Nice.
So yeah, that would do it.
Awesome.
I would I was just going to suggest, if you are going to get people testing and working on it, there's a lot in that interface. So I think just tell people what you want them to specifically look at and test. Otherwise, people will run amok and you'll get loads of information that is like not
we're gonna emulate a consent.
Okay, good idea.
So create a profile, edit profile, but yeah, definitely with a form and a guideline. And again, Colin is going to help, and you're going to help because we're going to discuss this probably later on Thursday, and we'll get you involved into it. Okay, don't worry.
Nice. All right. Yeah, with that, and also looking at the clock, let me just screen share for a second. I do want to call this out. A tweet from Singularity on its site yesterday on the hackathon happening in Nairobi. It's not. It's in 2 weeks from now. So yeah, you can still make some travel plans. But also seeing we have people from Kenya, I believe. So yeah, I figured I would share it. I do believe. I'm actually not sure if it's going to be live streamed. I don't think so. There will be recordings for more like documentary purposes, but yeah, that's not the same as actual workshop.
Yeah, Beyond the Code will be there. Yep, she'll be there.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I did want to call that out. And I do believe with that, let's do a quick check on the room to see if there's any questions, any relatively short questions, hopefully, but anything goes. All right. Looks like no questions. So then it's time to wrap up. Thanks all for being here, for spending your time. And Guillermo, thanks again for sharing that big update.
Always, mate. Always a pleasure.
Oh, I did want to call out the LATAM Guild meeting, which is starting 5 minutes ago. I see.
Yeah, but no, probably it's a good opportunity. I don't know if Leon is still here. Leon, if you can open the mic and camera and introduce yourself. Leandro Gavidia, new core contributor on the LATAM Guild. After this, we're going to have our bi-weekly meeting. But I don't know, Leon, can you do that?
Yes. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And we can see you.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. My name is Leandro. I'm from LATAM, from Venezuela. I am 23 years old. Well, I have a background as developer in Web2 and Web3 with AI, mobile, web. Also, I like collaborate in communities. I like to teach to people, teach about programming and more things. So it's a pleasure.
Awesome. Thanks for being on.
Glad you're here.
Hey, Leon. Yeah, glad you're here, mate. A little bit of context. So Leon have been helping us with we're doing this ASI agent spotlight of the week with LATAM. And Leon, we are using this for drive engagement and adoption of the ASI stack in LATAM region, okay? Step by step, slowly, with the budget allocation we have, and Leon have been putting together these videos that we are emulating what ASI is doing. Spotlight, agent spotlight of the day. Well, we do our Spanish version, but we also include like a segment for education in terms of we pick a topic. Last time was MCPs, integration of ASI and Agentverse. And we already have started a discussion on Meta in Spanish following. So this is a great initiative that is happening now in Kenya, and probably we can use that experience and adapt it to what we already have with the Metacoder Lab and start doing something. And Leon also with his knowledge is going to be helping us hopefully with that. But yeah, thank you. And great to have you, Leon, here. Okay, it's great stuff.
Yeah, fully agreed. Cool. I do think that puts it to a wrap for today. Thanks again, and hope to see you on one of the many upcoming community calls this week. And if not, we'll talk on Discord. Have a nice
Thank you,
week.
Peter. Thank you, Guillermo. Thank you.
And you. Cheers.
Thank you, everyone. Later.